bringing another episode of Direwolf20 pack. Bet you can't tell which one is me. Bet you can't tell. Oh, there I am. Hi, guys. I was hiding. I was pulling an ET there. All right. So we are up to episode number 31. We had a world download. So far, no one has downloaded it, but that's all good. It's there in case anyone wants it. I had a couple of people ask me for it, so I provided it. So anyway, today, what I want to get into is beginning Draconic Evolution. Another request was to go through Draconic Evolution from a beginner standpoint, as well as take our time and do it slow instead of rushing through it. So I think I'm going to do that. So for all of you who already know well in advance or already know all about Draconic Evolution, sit back and enjoy it and critique. Tell me things I'm doing wrong, because I'm by no means an expert in Draconic Evolution. For those others who don't know anything about it, I hope you learn something. I hope you enjoy it. And let's have fun together. All right. So the first thing is we are going to need, you can see, let me switch this to @Draconic. All right. So here's the whole mod in its nutshell. And there's the first thing is this information tablet. All right. So the information tablet is just a little bit of draconium dust and stone. Now this draconium dust occurs naturally. If we take a look at the draconian dust, this occurs naturally in the overworld. It's very rare. Naturally in the nether. I found quite a bit in the nether. That's where I got most of mine. And naturally in the end. And it's a little more common in the end, at least seemingly. So you get some of this draconium dust. So let's say we don't have any. Well, we can just go take a look over in the end. But in the meantime, since we already have some, don't tell anybody, is I'm going to take some of this and I'm going to cook it up real quick. Let's get that out of there. I'm going to cook this up, and this is the dust that you get, and it turns into ingots. So let me just cook up a bit of this while it's, now let's see, is it going to actually pull in? I don't think it's going to pull in. Yeah, let's grab a few of that, and I'm going to teach while we also start from the beginning. So let's assume we have none, but in reality we do. We're going to make a really cool device called the dislocator. All right, so this dislocator is very simple. It's a little bit of this dust and a little bit of blaze powder. So we already have all of that in our system, but you know how to make Eye of Ender, so we're going to grab that. And this is our way of getting home. Now we already have other ways. We have these transmitters. Remember our charge porter, right? This is our charge porter way of getting home. But this is made very simply without any machines and power or anything. So all I have to do is just hold down Shift and right click, and now it binds that to this specific coordinate, XYZ coordinate in the overworld. So let's say we want to go to the end. All right, so let's go to, I don't know, do I have a, I don't think I have a world over there. All right, gotta love updates. At our stronghold, right? Yes, so we don't have a way to get to our stronghold. So let me work my way over there. I'm going to make sure, yeah, let me dump off this silicone, and I will head on over there, and I will meet you there, all right? Be right back here. We just arrived here, and I brought along one of these extra dislocators, because all I would have to do then is just right-click here, shift right-click here, there we go, and see now it's bound to the end. So I can go back home, right-click, very easily, takes me back home, okay? Or I go back to this one, and it takes me back to the end. So now you can teleport back and forth. Now, but let's pretend we don't have any. You've gotten to the end in the normal way. Now, I've already kind of picked clean most of this because, you know, Draconic ore is pretty special. So it's also fairly rare, but this seems to be a really easy way of finding it. So what I usually do is just kind of roll around until you see this glimmering stuff, and it does have an obsidian or a mining level of obsidian. So we want to grab these guys right here. So we'll grab those two, and so that gives us dust. And then I'll go into my mining backpack. So let's check out how much we got. For those two, we got 14. So that was average of 7. Now I do have looting. Remember, I've got looting 3 on here. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, the other thing is, let's grab an ender pearl. here, or 2. And so we're going to go to the end islands because we're going to look for a comet. So that's our next thing. We want a comet. Let me get ender pearls ready here. All right. So now comets aren't necessarily that common, so I'm just going to head off. Let's go this way. Let's just go this way, and we're going to look for a comet. And a comet is something that is spawned from the Draconic Evolution pack. It is not part of the vanilla. So I am flying away now, and the only thing we have to worry about is getting 10,000 blocks away. We don't want to get 10,000 blocks away because that's where the Chaos Dragon is. That's the Draconic Evolution Dragon. So just be aware if you're hunting and traveling for quite some time. Beware that you know, you could run into it if you go 10,000 blocks away, and you don't want to go to it quite yet. All right, I'll bring you back if I find it. Okay, I just got done looting that, and I noticed that there's a comet. So the comets have a much higher concentration of draconium essence. And so I don't know if there's a difference between like the tail and the head, but you can see they're all kind of clustered around here. So you can just come over here and grab these guys. Let's land so it's a little quicker. There we go. And then, and in general, I think that you can just come up here and, you know, grab all of these. This seems to be a little bit higher concentration over here, and so so you can grab a whole bunch of this stuff. And ooh, a little bit of lag spike there, and there we go. And it's grabbing all kinds of great draconium essence or draconium dust. So that's really cool. So if you happen to find one of these, pay attention. They are filled with draconium, or you can just hang around. You know, I had to go 3,300 meters to find this. Now I flew in one straight direction, so if you're, you know, flying around, you might get a little luckier. But just wanted to point that out. Okay, let me meet you back at base. Oh wait, you're coming along. There we go. How nice is that? Okay, so we've got these two guys, and I'm going to bring this guy along with me, and I'm going to keep this because notice how it says dimension the end. Okay, so we've got that guy, and that's the first thing. So now we have all this draconium dust, at least in theory, right? Or at least in theory, we have mined a whole bunch of it. You can also get it from the ore miners, and I got some shulker pearls as well. So the void ore miner, right? But we don't have environmental tech in here. You can also get it from the extra utils miner, right? So the quantum quarry. Now realize quantum quarry requires a nether star, so it's not quite early game. You're going to be able to beat the wither and the quarry actuator, and that will start mining, and that's, you know, end rod and stuff. Now you can make that if you happen to have one of these pop chorus fruit or a chorus fruit. You can cook that up, and a blaze rod. Also shulker pearls, so you don't have to actually cook it. That's all it really saves. Anyway, you can get that draconium ore. So now we have that. Okay, that's the first step. Let's go back to our draconian ore. So you need a bunch of that. This probably won't be enough of what we need. I'm going to grab, let's see, 3 more stacks of this, and I'll set up some auto crafting to make sure that we have this created, you know, and sucked back in. But in the meantime, I'm just doing it manually. So the draconium ingots are going to be primarily what we use. And there's these guys right here, these draconic cores are going to be heavily used, and they all take ingots. So we need a little bit of dust, right? If we look at the uses of this dust here, we've got this draconium infused obsidian. It's witherproof. It doesn't say it is. It is witherproof. Let me repeat that for emphasis. You can use this to build your wither block protection. We've got this potentiometer. This basically allows you to dial in what redstone signal you want. It's very inexpensive, right? And pretty neat. You can just say, I want redstone level 7, no 8, and it's got a little dial on it. It's pretty neat. We've already seen the dislocator, and then the information tablet, which, in theory, if we didn't have any, which is kind of why I emulated going and getting our draconium dust for the first time, we can now make this. So we now make this. This is the in-game store manual, right? So this is got everything that you will want to know. And we might occasionally refer to this, but you can see here it gives you all kinds of information about it. This is not too much different than what you can get in JEI for these kind of things, right? But it's still cool nonetheless. If we go back to Awaken Draconium, that means we have to infuse it. Just like many other mods have, we're going to be getting into this infusion here. But not yet, not yet. That's a little more advanced. There are a whole rash of tools. You might have heard how awesome these tools are. These tools are incredibly awesome, pretty much the best in the game. It starts with the Wyvern level. Okay, that's all the purple. And those all can be upgraded. See how there's upgrades here? You can, for instance, this sword here, you can upgrade the RF capacity. It does use RF, just like these guys here uses RF, except for not just for damage mitigation, but also to actually work. And so then it also needs, or also you can upgrade attack damage and then attack AoE. So you can actually hit more than one mob up to, I think it's something like a 13 by 13, maybe not quite that. Maybe it's like an 8 by 8 area that you can swing once and hit all the mobs in that area. It's pretty epic. It's pretty epic. And then the next level is the Draconic level. So that theme, for no matter what it is, whether it's a axe, a bow, a pickaxe, a shovel, the sword, will have the Wyvern level and they'll have the Draconic level. And spoiler, there's actually a Chaos level. There's a third level on top of that. So that's pretty cool. There's this whole wireless infrastructure as well, where you can transfer energy wireless, and it's pretty neat. We might get into that. There's also a set of armor. So just like the weapons and tools, there's also all this armor. Now, this dislocator, you might have noticed that as I use it, it has a damage bar associated with it. And it says there's 18 uses remaining. So the durability is 17 of 19. Looks like that means 18 uses remaining. All right. Now, if you want, what we can do is we can make one of these advanced dislocators. All right. So what that means is that it's reusable, and it can you can load it up with ender pearls, and every time you use it up, every time you use it, it uses up one ender pearl. And that will require this infusion crafting. The Draconic generator we've already taken a look at. It's pretty expensive, and we've already seen this Draconic core. So this is, like I said, used in so many recipes. There's 9 pages, so 27 different things it uses this for. So it's pretty prevalent in this mod. So the generator, though, we've already seen it. In fact, I should have one made. Draconic. Let's see here. It's called generator, so I have to do it this way. So we've already made this Draconic generator, and it's not bad. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it was 168, and it was a non-round number of RF per tick. It's not bad. And for the price of it, if you have this Draconium, then it's really a good early game generator. Typically, you won't have Draconium early game, but yeah, it's still pretty cool. The other thing is the dischanter. In 2 of my other series, the Infinite Choices as well as my Sky Factory series, I've made this dischanter. And so all it takes is 2 enchanted book, doesn't matter what kind, 1 of these Draconic cores, and some bookshelves. So let's go ahead and make that real quick. So let's make one of those, and then we're going to need 2 of these enchanted books. I don't think I have any bookshelves either. Yeah. So let's get some of these here. 1, 2, 3, and this is the first bookshelf I've made. Let's grab just Luck of the Seashore. That's a perfect one too. Oh, I only needed 2. It's a perfect thing to waste on here. Since I don't do too much fishing in here, I've got auto fishing mechanisms for me. Oh, what am I missing? It's the basics. I need the basics. And then those books aren't going to stack in there, so we have to put them manually because they have NBT data. So this enchanter, or disenchanter as it will, is just like our enchanting lens right here. So let's put this down right here. And so the interface is very straightforward. You item in here, your book, and it extracts the book from it. So let's grab something. Let's grab a soulbound. We want soulbound off of this, but you notice it's the second item. All right, so I'm going to need some levels. So, well, let's see how much it costs first, and we'll need books. I need a book, or actually, I'm going to grab a whole bunch of books. I'll just grab a stack of books. So let's throw a stack of books in there for future use. So you put your item in the left-hand side. It doesn't take power or anything. You hit extract, and it'll let you pick and choose instead of popping them off, whatever the top one is first, like this dischanter does. You have to go through each and every one of them. This one allows us to cherry pick whichever one we want. So if I pick 20 levels in here, I can go over here and say, give me just Soulbound. And there you go. I got a Soulbound book. Took my 20 levels, and it left us with that. So pretty cool, isn't it? So I've been going on a lot conceptually. Let's actually make something. Let's make a sword and see what it does. It's 15 attack damage. This guy here is 21.82. So right off the bat, it's not going to be better, but we should be able to upgrade it. So let's go ahead and make that. And it requires a diamond sword, a wyvern core, some draconium ingot, and wyvern energy core. So this one is the draconic energy core. So we're going to need a couple of these. Like I said, we're going to use a lot of those guys. And then we'll make this wyvern core here. All right, throw that in there. And then this wyvern core up here requires another star. I have 2 right now, but it also requires 4 more of these. So let's go ahead and make several of those, and then we should be able to pull that in. See how we're running through our draconium ingots and why I made a bunch of them? It requires a lot. I mean, a lot. Like by the time we get done here, we're going to need tens of thousands of those. It's that much. So obviously we're going to have to do something in terms of automation in getting draconic stuff. Now we do have 1.6 thousand, so we're fine for quite some time. You notice how this is filling up. So let's go ahead and put that in here, and let's see. Are we happen to be dark? No, of course not. Wouldn't that be wonderful if it was? So let's just try it out on this guy. Hey, I wonder if it's going to actually work. Oh yeah, one shot. Hey, it's the most powerful OP sword in the game. No, just kidding. Okay, when we take a look, oops, missed it by that much. So when we come back down here, so this here now has the ability to put upgrades in it, but we don't have the infrastructure in place to be able to do that. So we can take a look here. Let me see what my, nope, I don't want to do that. I want to go into here and find out. So if you go into Draconic, right, you'll be able to see what's your tool and armor. So I don't have anything configured. Let's try X. Let's see if that actually works. I know there's conflict. So X, nope, it will not. Let's try Draconic Evolution. How about apostrophe? Yeah, perfect. Good enough for me. Okay, so let's try apostrophe now. So this brings up, and it will highlight the things that are applicable. Now I can adjust my HUD, okay, so I can change where things are and click and drag certain things. This is pretty much the crucial thing that you will be looking at. And there's some other stuff over here. You can change the, you know, when it fades out, what the scale is, right? You can make it bigger or smaller. I think it was at 70, I don't know, I don't remember what it was. So let's put it at 90. There we go. And you can tell when to fade out, right? Here's your shield display. You can fade out when it's, or you know, turn on numeric. You can fade out when it's 25% damage, or shield, you know, is drops down to 50% to 75. You know, don't show it unless it's if it's higher than 75%, right? So you can also turn on numeric. I like the numeric values, so on. We don't have any right now because we don't have any armor. The other thing, let me get back in there, is we can go into attack radius, right? So now here's our attack radius, the area covered by this weapon's swing. So right now we have no ability. We don't have any upgrades at all. It's just a basic sword. We have to upgrade this. The other thing is we can set different profiles in here, and we can, in one of my configuration settings, I can change profiles. So I can have, you know, one that does AOE and one that does specific. It's very applicable when you're dealing with the pickaxe, and you have, especially some of the higher ones, like this Draconic Staff of Power, which is all the items in one block, but or just even the Draconic Pickaxe. These guys can do like an 11 by 11 dig radius, 11 by 11 by 11 radius. So it digs out thousands of blocks all in one go. And so you might have one profile that does that and another one that does a single block at a time. Very, very handy. Very neat. Okay, the other thing is let's take a look at one of the pieces of armor. So the Wyvern helm also requires one of these, right? Or so every single piece of this requires a nether star. So we're going to have to do something about that because this is a very, very heavy nether star mod pack. It's every time we need this Wyvern core, we need it. And the Wyvern core has a lot of items that we're going to need it for. Well, I shouldn't say almost. A lot of the upgrades require nether stars. All right, so at this point, we have a choice. There's a rain sensor here, which is pretty cool. So an entity detector. There's some really neat non-ancillary mods, but I have a feeling most of you, or non-fighting type of items in here. All right, so all these items that are they're quality of life stuff, but most people want to know about the swords and the armor and how to upgrade them. We're going to get into that. Like I said, it requires a lot of nether stars, and that's going to be important enough that we have a lot of nether stars. Now, right now, my nether star solution is manual. Hey, look, we got mobs out here. My nether star solution is a manual solution. If you're watching my skyblock factory, right, I have to put them in here manually. If you're watching my skyblock, I've made it automated wither killing, and it's heaven. It's really nice. Oh, we didn't quite get him a single shot, so let's try another zombie without a creeper near. Yeah, see? Remember, these have 20 health, so unless we're above 20, we're not one-shotting, which is really nice to have a one-shot weapon. But we can get there. Anyway, we'll have to do something about the wither because we need a lot of nether stars. And we're also going to do something in the pack about that. And here's a hint. Here is a hint. It is going to have to do with the mob grinder. Now, take a look at the mob grinder. It's actually really simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back and we're going to put this guy to use. I know. I don't think I have multiple ones. Let's see how many of these I have. Yeah, I'm missing both of those. So let's make those real quick. And then we're going to say goodbye. We're going to come back and we're going to do some automated wither killing so that we can leverage this mob killer, because you're going to find how cool this mob killer is. It's pretty slick. It's very, very slick. Put that in there. Get rid of all that. And there we go. There we go. So guys, I know this is a quick and dirty intro to it's actually not too dirty. It was kind of comprehensive, right? So I wanted to take the time to go through this because, like I said, a couple of you guys have wanted me to go through this, and I'm going to take it slow. There's no point in rushing through this. It is a complex mod. There's a lot of grindy stuff to it, and I'm not going to subject you to that. I'm going to explain how to do this stuff, and we'll go off camera and do a lot of the grindy stuff. So this is very talky, explanatory episode. Apologize for that, but hopefully you've learned something from it and can get started. And if you're following along, hang tight. We'll get to the good stuff soon. All right, guys. Well, I will talk to you in the next episode. If you liked this, I hope you did. Really hope you did. Then leave a like. And if you're new to the series, I would appreciate a subscribe. And if you just want to chat and talk, ask questions, this is meant to be for you guys to explain this. So if you're finding this is too slow, speed up or slow down or go over something more in depth, let me know. I'll take as much time as you guys need. All right, guys. Well, have a good one. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you in the next one. All right, bye.